99 inches is a long seam. And hopefully I won't have to rip one of them out. Hi, and welcome to Quilt Meets World, where we have adventures in piecing and joy. I'm Russ. Come on into my sewing room. So work was interesting this week. I had to fight with our IT folks because they do want to make an exception and somehow let us keep our current stack computer that has a processing power and memory that we need to do the giant stuff that we do. They first gave us a 4 gigabyte virtual server, and I kind of laughed at that because our 16 gigabyte laptops can't even handle a file. They finally bumped us up to 24 gigabytes, but that didn't quite have enough processors behind that memory in order for it to be useful. Hopefully Monday, though, that will all be solved. What's going on in here, though? A lot has happened, and I'm excited about it. The first big thing that happened was I did my live again yesterday. I am doing them regularly on Saturdays at 11. So if you haven't joined in one in the past, please set your calendar and join me. I'm trying to get those cards out more regularly. I managed to figure out how to do it like half an hour before my live. But it is, I'm getting better and better and better slowly. For my live, I made a baby quilt. Before Tuesday, though, I didn't even know I was going to be making a quilt at all. We got an invite on Tuesday for one of my coworkers' baby shower. I knew she, was with child, but didn't know the due date, didn't know the gender or anything, didn't even bother to ask because, frankly, she's a support person person that I support, not necessarily someone that I consider I'm friends with. But she is an awesome person, and she is having a baby shower, so I decided I want to make a quilt. My normal baby quilt is the Fat Quarter Shop Jelly Roll Jam. It is a quick and easy pattern, and the big thing is it requires a jelly roll. And while I have jelly rolls or junior jelly rolls in some cases in the house, I had nothing that is basically kid appropriate. A lot of it is, traditional stuff or stuff that already has a project assigned to it. So I can't just steal from that. So I was like, what am I going to do? Reached out to some of my friends, and my friend Stephanie of Quilting with Stephanie Stitches asked if I had a charm pack. And I was like, what do you mean? And she said, I can do a 6x7 grid with the fabrics in the charm pack and put a couple borders on it. And I was like, that sounds interesting, except I didn't have a charm pack. But I also realized I had a metric ton of scraps from my Sewcialites back quarters. So I came in here Thursday evening and cut up 42 5-inch squares out of my leftovers from the back quarters. And I laid them out and figured out the pattern so I could have them on live. I did have the tulip putty for the inner border, but I knew that I was going to need to do an outer border and stuff. So came in here, did the live, which was a lot of fun. Lives definitely are a lot of fun. I don't know why it took me so long to start doing them, but I did. And I got the inner field of the quilt done. Took just over an hour. So just with that, it's beating the standard jelly roll jam because that's a lot more sewing. And then you got to cut it and then you got to sew it back together again. So thinking that might be my go-to from now on for baby quilts is maybe a charm pack or charm pack adjacent scraps I had. Went to the quilt shop to figure out what fabric I was going to do for the outer border. And then I also needed binding and backing. And I knew what I wanted to do for the backing. I'm going to keep that a little bit of a surprise for y'all, at least until I get that done. Then you can see the backing, because I am in love with the backing. I wasn't quite certain what I wanted to do for the border. And then I saw the fabric and I was like, I think this will be perfect. So I bought the fabric and then I bought something for the binding and came home and I finished the project, and it is right here. So I will give y'all a sneak peek at it. I'll have better pictures later in the video in the scenes from the week, but here is the quilt. So this purple is just too gorgeous. And then everything else in the middle was scraps. So this cost me very little to do, which is amusing because they have been doing a whole bunch of make sure your gifts aren't too expensive and make sure you report the expensive stuff at work. So I'm like, well, I have the receipt to say this wasn't expensive. At 5 p.m., we went live on Shannon of Slay Arts channel, for the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt for Carnival. During her live, I did my sister's colorway of, what is it, Sky Diver? Yeah, Sky Diver. And this was one of the blocks, which I'm loving her stuff. And then this was the other block. We made 2 and 2 of each. And I tried to start on my colorway, but I didn't quite really make it. We all got done pretty much done early. So we just like wrapped it up and had everything done. However, this morning, my friend Stephen of Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, he had a male quilter pop-up sew day. That was a lot of fun. It was a little different from his traditional pop-up sew days, but it still was the same overall theme. If you've ever been to one, and if you haven't been to one of his pop-up sew days, you need to go. Head over onto his channel. I have it linked below, as well as everybody else. And join his pop-up sew days. For my colorway, though, this morning on his thing, I managed to get this done. And then the other block done. So I love the fact that both of these are the same blocks, same pattern, just different colorways. After I got my puzzle mystery quilt done, I got to working on my Sewcialites quilt again. And let me tell you, these 99-inch seams are a little intense. I managed to start getting the rows pressed in opposite directions because they needed to be. And as I started sewing and then pressing open everything, I got a little concerned because I sewed one of my rows on upside down. And like, there's just a huge sinking feeling in your stomach that 99 inches, again, I'm saying 99 inches. I looked and looked, and thankfully it was the center row. So it can go either direction. So I did not rip it out, at least now. I'll have to look a little bit later, just to see how everything looks. If I have to rip out a 99 cent, I'd probably give up. Who knows? At this point, I have all but one seam complete. I essentially have 2 halves, the top half and the bottom half, and I need to lay it out in a big open space just to make sure I don't have anything else upside down before I sew that last seam and commit. I have no idea how I'm going to be able to press it because pressing these other seams has been a little bit of a challenge, but I am excited that I have one seam left and this quilt will be done, except for quilting, and I'll have to figure that out later. what is going to be going on this week? I know it's going to be a little crazy at work, but then again, I realize I say that all the time. But this time it is different because my in-office days are going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week instead of Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Percy needs to have a procedure done, and Tuesday and Thursday are the drop-off and pickup dates, and the times really aren't convenient for me doing either of those days in the office. I did kind of ask my boss, I was like, do you want to come in Tuesday? And I'll come in after I pick or I drop him off. I won't get here until almost noon, trying to, play the system in. I badged in and everything, but we both really agreed that it would be more efficient and useful of my time if I worked from home completely on Tuesday and Thursday and came into the office Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And there's a few more people in the office on Fridays than you would think, but I know I'm going to be completely bored. For what I'm planning on doing, the first thing is to get the quilting done on that baby quilt. I have to figure out a pattern, but it is just going to be fun just to load that up on the long arm, get that quilted through, and then that gives me enough time to work on the binding and get that done. Like I said, the hard part is going to be figuring out a quilting pantograph, but that'll come to me probably as I start getting everything loaded. The second thing that I want to do is to get that last seam of Sewcialites done. Assuming I don't have any other rows goofed, that will be the last seam, and I can call it done. I have no idea how much work it's going to be. If it's judging by anything today, it's going to be about half hour to 45 minutes of work, just getting everything clipped up and then getting it down here, run the 99 inches through my sewing machine, and then get it all pressed out. But, and it's getting heavy too. I'm only working with half the quilt, so I have no idea what the whole quilt is going to feel like underneath my machine. The third thing that I'm excited about working on is doing the cutting and I believe first block for Fort Worth Fabric Studios Lighted Up Mystery Quilt Along. I purchased the kit and I'm excited about it. According to my, actually, no, that's not what's coming on Monday. Hopefully it'll be coming soon. No, it already arrived. I'm getting my days mixed up. It has arrived, so it is over there. I just haven't pulled it out of the shipping container. The quilt along starts on Wednesday with a whole bunch with all the cutting, I believe, and then I believe they're doing the first block. My friend Stephanie of Quilting with Stephanie Stitches will be doing a sew along with it, so I recommend everybody to run over to her channel, hit subscribe, and if you're interested in sewing along with it, sew along with us. Also, I need to figure out what I am going to be doing when I go live this coming Saturday. I'm having a blast with the lives, and it's given me a chance to work on stuff and be social with y'all on a Saturday afternoon. It's kind of a quiet time in the day with the YouTube lives, so I'm very excited about that. And then finally, I'll probably work a couple more of my sister's table runners this week. They are definitely quick and fun, even though they aren't 10 minutes like they are advertised to be. But then again, I've seen other things advertised quicker than they are. Anyway, that's about it for today. Thank you for watching. If you want, please consider liking the video below and subscribing to my channel. If you hit the little bell icon down there, you will be notified when I upload new videos and also when I go live on Saturday mornings. It doesn't cost you anything, but it really helps the channel to grow. I hope you have a great rest of your day and an awesome week. Until next time, stay happy and keep stitching.